A viewer of my live streams went ahead and suggested the Philips SHP9500 open back pair of headphones since he already owned a pair and was curious to hear my thoughts on it. And well, today I will be testing it with things like average music listening, gaming, and audio monitoring / editing capabilities, and even for monitoring a podcast in case you were interested. So let's go ahead and dive right in. For more great content just like this, just make sure to subscribe and then turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any uploads. Also, leave a like and a comment down below with all of your thoughts on this video. And while you're at it, I always leave affiliate links down below in the description as well. But make sure that you check out Lukrembo so you can find the best deals on all of that tech that you're shopping for. It's a simple browser extension that helps you make the best purchasing decision. And lastly, don't forget to check out my merch store if you're into some monochrome clothing like everything I'm wearing right here. So with that said, links to everything down below. And the unboxing here is going to be super simple. I just remove the tape from the lid and then remove the cover to reveal the actual box. And inside, you're going to find a protective thin cover for the headphones. And inside of that, you're going to find the headphones themselves. And I'm just going to admire them briefly. And then I'm going to put them aside to take a look at the cable, which is going to be detachable, by the way. And then I move on with the rest of my day. However, I really had to give it to Philips here. For an $80 pair of headphones, these are built nicely enough, and especially where it matters. It is going to be a very lightweight pair that is mostly comprised of plastic, and the 50mm drivers are going to be pretty visible since this is an open back pair of headphones, obviously. But the headband is going to be made of metal, so it's pretty strong and gives you 6 presets of adjustments, which I cannot complain about at all. But most importantly, that headband. Let's go ahead and talk about that headband. This pair of headphones is so comfortable that I feel very comfortable wearing these over a long period of time. Instead of the usual leather padding that you get for the ear cuffs and the headbands with other headphones, you're going to find this textured cloth material that is pretty difficult to describe exactly what it is. I just don't know the name of it, but it helps a lot when it comes to not making my ears sweat after wearing these for over an hour or so or something like that. Either way, everything about this pair screams comfort, and these are very well designed for long-term usage. This is going to be the case for even more so than my Audio-Technica ATH-AD700X pair of headphones, which is also a super lightweight pair of open back headphones. This pair is going to be even more comfortable than that, and it feels even better. I just have to say that this pair is incredibly comfortable, and if you're looking for comfort, then this pair is absolutely amazing in that department, for sure. And now, let's go ahead and talk about the sound quality of these headphones. Let's go ahead and start off with the easy stuff here. So let's go ahead and talk about music first. I listen to quite a few genres of music, but a lot of them are just different variations of metal. I find that for every single genre I listen to, however, and that even includes hip-hop, pop, lo-fi, black metal, just rock, etc. These all showed a very clear preference towards the highs, then maybe the mids, and then neglected the lows just a little bit, or at the very least kept them as flat as possible for my listening experience. These don't sound tinny at all by any means, though in spite of that, since it is mostly just that emphasis on the highs rather than an actual decrease in the low end in music, you're definitely going to hear that. And just for listening to music, these do sound pretty good. And I do enjoy listening to all genres of music with these pretty easily. And it's not a ton of bass, obviously, but there is still some, and they do sound pretty darn good, I'd say, for pretty much all genres. However, when it comes to audio separation, these actually felt pretty narrow, I would say, almost like a close back pair instead of an open back pair of headphones. And it left me somewhat confused, but people around you can still clearly hear what you're listening to loud and clear, which was very interesting to me. This was a pretty big gripe for me, but I will get to that soon. And when it comes to gaming, these two offer a pretty good experience if I do say so myself. And if you wanted a comfortable pair of gaming headphones, I honestly have no complaints here. There's enough separation that I can still clearly hear things like footsteps and things of the like, and I place aside from any kind of background music or anything like that. In other words, it is a pretty immersive pair in this regard, so I can easily recommend these for gamers as well. And now, when it comes to monitoring audio or editing or just podcasting in general, these certainly would not be my first pick at this price range. Because when it comes to things as critical as this, I find that the emphasis on the highs is actually quite a bit obnoxious, in particular for this set of circumstances. I would even find it a little bit too distracting, in fact. After listening back to my voice, for example, after any kind of recordings, it does sound a lot brighter than it does in real life to me, or at the very least what it should sound like coming or going through my BP40 microphone, which I did find to be quite interesting that it would sound that much brighter. It's really just not my preference in that regard. And I usually use a pair of Audio-Technica ATH-M40Xs for audio monitoring that do sound a lot more flat, and they just sound a lot more accurate than this pair in general. Like, this is just a much brighter sounding pair. Now, granted, it doesn't sound bad. It's just that the sound isn't so accurate, I would say. And that is just immediately obvious. So for precise audio monitoring and editing, I would not recommend this pair. For podcasting and for simple video editing though, this pair is perfectly fine, I think. More so for simple edits than for actual podcasting though, because of the emphasis on the highs, you just won't get a super accurate listen of your voice or any guest that you might have over. So that is worth keeping into consideration. Which leads me directly into my complaints. These headphones let a lot of sound out, just like any other pair of open back headphones, but they seem to sound more like closed back headphones. Granted, I use both for different purposes, and I love both types, of course, but my problem is that I paid for an open back pair. And I really don't want to only get the downsides of owning an open back pair as to be the whole package here. And like, for example, it just lets a lot of sound out, and so everybody can hear what you're listening to. However, you're not getting that amazing kind of audio separation that you do with other types of open back headphones. So in other words, these aren't open enough. These really just feel like a closed back pair of headphones that let a lot of sound out, which is pretty ironic. And also, that emphasis on the highs is really just not my preference at all, as I've made it clear all throughout this entire review. Lastly, these hardly fold at all, so they are not very portable in my opinion. They will not fit in your bag so comfortably. They do not come with an actual carrying pouch, and that's something that I hope that does get fixed in the future with the next model, even if you do have to pay just a little bit extra to get it all in the same package. And that's it. This review was definitely longer than I intended it to be, since I usually don't spend this much time on headphones, but I thought that it was important to highlight all of these features. Granted, I had these headphones connected to my Go XLR. I know that I was getting probably the best sound that you can squeeze out of these for the money. I think they do sound pretty good, but they just sound like a closed back pair of headphones, but with the leaking issues of an open back pair. And if you want to experience an open back sound for the first time, then I would not recommend this as an introductory pair, because you might not feel the difference so much. But that's not to say that this isn't a great pair at all. I actually think it's awesome in spite of all of my complaints. And they nail the comfort so well that I have zero complaints here, and they still sound pretty darn good. I really love wearing these pretty much all day long, and they're perfectly suitable for just that. My point here is that don't be discouraged by everything that I've said here, because if you just want a good pair of headphones at around this price range, then these will do you incredibly well, because these do sound pretty good for pretty normal usage. In fact, way too good for normal usage, I would say. And this is still going to be a very great choice. However, if you need precision with more audio separation too, then I would definitely consider looking at other options, because this just won't cut it. And that's just what I was trying to get at with this video. And with that said, if you're interested in purchasing these headphones, then I'll be making sure to leave affiliate links down to Amazon in the description. And if you end up using any of my links, I do get a small commission that does help me run things just a little bit more smoothly around here. So if you were to use those, I would appreciate that quite a bit. And also, there is Luster, which is a really cool tool that I did mention much earlier on in this video. I really strongly recommend that you install it, because it is a non-intrusive browser extension that is going to help you find sales and things of the like. And if you want a better price on these headphones, then there's honestly no better way going about looking for sales and things of the like. So I'm going to leave that link down in the description too, as I do believe it to be a pretty powerful tool. I use it a lot, so I recommend it for you as well. And with that said, I also stream on Twitch every Friday and Saturday, and I've recently switched my schedule over to be from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern time, as you guys did mention that 10 to 12 was a little bit too late. So if you happen to come across any videos that say 10 to 12, disregard that, because it is now 8 to 10. Great. Awesome. Now with that said, also make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram to stay up to date with the latest and greatest regarding the Tech Summit endeavors. That is going to mark the end of this video. Hopefully the information here was useful. This has been Francisco from Tech Summit. Thank you so much for watching, and I will be seeing you all later. Enjoy.